Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's get this day going the best way possible. Straw man argument, right? The straw man argument. Yeah. Ain't no party like a cowboy party, cause a cowboy party don't stop. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know if you guys can hear me pretty well. Let me know. We're gonna get this day going the best way possible, right? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah. Straw man argument, right? You know, my thing is everybody, mama, uncle, cousin knows that you can't count another man's pocketbook. Come on. You know, here's the situation. Fans, we can go back and forth, you know, with the pricing. With, okay, this guy should get this much, this guy should get that much. But far as the actual persons that, or people that play the game, they can't do that. It's like should be an unwritten rule, right? It should be a situation where they look at this thing and say, nah, dog, we can't touch that. We want to talk about that, but we can't talk about the man pocketbook on how he getting extra money to the side. And if that's the case, then Tony Romo should only play for what, $20 million, right? Troy Aikman should have only played for what, peanuts? Roger Staubach, all of the quarterbacks for the Dallas Cowboys should never take a big contract. That should be the rule, if that's the case in the scenario. That should be like already given when you get to the Dallas Cowboys, you do not get a contract if you're the quarterback. We should be looking at this thing where it's a benefit because the Dallas Cowboys shouldn't have to pay for a salary as it relates for a quarterback at all. If that's the case in the scenario, let me know if I'm wrong, Cowboy Nation. Let me know. But all of a sudden, Dak Prescott get here, and all of the guys out here want to say, well, you know, hey, he's making money from Sleep Number. He's making money doing commercial here, commercial there, right? That's the craziest thing of it all. Look, they're going to have to come into the reality that they got to pay this guy or let him walk. I'm with that belief. And put this screen up here so everybody can see. That should be the case. Either the Cowboys should just pay the guy or let him walk. All of this back and forth, man, we tired of this, Cowboy Nation. It seemed like this thing been going on for years and years. Dak Prescott should take a contract deduction, discount, double check, right? However that saying goes. Well, why wasn't that told to Ezekiel Elliott? Why didn't Amari Cooper get that memo? Why didn't Jalen Smith, Lyle Collins, Tyron Smith, every quarterback and every player and every running back and every defensive edge guy, every single player should say, hey, we play for the Cowboys. Matter of fact, we fork over our salary cap, right? We don't need the money. We getting endorsements. Shouldn't that be the angle? I digress. Shout out to everybody. Alex, I see you, man, in the chat box. Really appreciate you. Let me see who the first person over here on the groove. Let's see who we have here. Marcia, appreciate you. Kevin Harris, thank you for jumping in, holding it down. Let's see what Mr. Wright.
Law Nation, it's fair because it's been done to Zeke and still D-Law. The list goes on. It's tough out here, man, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that he's speaking from the confines of dragging this thing all the way out through the media. Dragging this thing all the way out. Continuing to drag and sully the name, wedging the Cowboys players and the fans and the owners amongst each other, just keeping drawing their wedge. Might as well, we can just call this the drama for your mama dance. Just keep wedging. That's what the Cowboys been doing. Just driving a single blade right down the middle and cutting the two. Just a wedging. It's crazy, Cowboy Nation. Shout out to everybody that's here. And thank those who jumped in. Really appreciate you, Mr. Wright, for making that donation to help elevate the nation. Really do. D-Law didn't get the memo. Okay, he didn't get the memo. Yeah, who else didn't get the memo? Alex, no good replacement for Dak. Pay the man. Right. Look, my thing is a third of everybody that's watching right now, were Cowboys fans. I think majority of them, everybody, was Cowboys fans before Dak Prescott was ever born. Right? Was a Cowboys fan before, we can argue, some can argue, we was Cowboys fans before Jerry Jones bought the team, right? A few can come out here and say, well, we was Cowboy fans before Ezekiel Elliott thought about putting on a jersey to play for the Dallas Cowboys. But the wedge is continued to just being driven. Zeke contract talk lasted one season. This is Sanjay. Yeah, that contract lasted one season, but it's still a straw man's argument. But nevertheless, I'm going to play this clip of CeeDee Lamb. He talked glowingly of Dak Prescott. He really wanted him out there on the field.
Dak's not yet under
Let me know if y'all can hear that.
2021. How much do you think about that? And from your experiences with him, do you campaign and say, like, let's get this guy signed?
Of course, I'm sure they definitely want Dak back. They for sure. There's no secret we want Dak back, and I trust that the guys in the office are definitely going to make the right decision. They know how much Dak means to us and how much we lean on him. So,
So that's CeeDee Lamb. He's saying, of course, the Joneses will eventually. This is a young kid, young guy, still wet behind the ears, right? Saying that, of course, yes, we would love to have Rain Dakota Prescott out there on the field. We would love to see him out there doing his thing, doing his magic. We would love to see those things, right? But the problem is, Cowboy Nation, is that if this young fish can see it, right? Oh, my goodness. How come the owners do not see this part of it? It's silly. Let's listen to more what he have to say.
I'm just excited to see what's going to happen. I hope he's coming back 2021 and for the long haul. I'm excited. And like I said, I cannot wait to have him back.
Absolutely. Now that the season's over, are y'all back to hanging out at his place? I know he's not yet able to throw with you on his field, but what's that dynamic been like?
Definitely been pulling up on him, vouching for him a little bit, hoping he comes back soon. But he looks good. He's walking around the house. He came back from his second surgery about 2 months ago, so he's walking around, rehabbing. He's doing everything right, and it's great to see, especially when you seen him go down.
Right.
You saw the look in his eyes. You saw how sad he was and how much this game meant to him.
All right, so one thing that I did take away from that interview with CeeDee Lamb, I'll try to post a link somewhere in the description box once this video is done. My thing is, the thing that I really pulled away from him, he said, we, that means multiple people, tried to vouch for him. Oh, vouch for Dak Prescott? So you mean to tell me? Come on, let me be real. Let me speak. You guys want the PC answer? I'm going to wait. Y'all want the PC answer or y'all want me to let me know. It's crazy. So you mean to tell me that the players are vouching for Dak Prescott to be paid? They coming to Jerry, Stephen Jones, whoever's behind the paycheck or whoever writes the check saying, hey, can you please sign Dak Prescott? Can you please give him his bag? Can you please give him his money? Oh, what's the temperature with Dak Prescott? Is that the reality of it? He said we got to vouch. He said we. It's crazy. Oh, man, it's crazy. And we supposed to be able to have our love and adulations towards this team, and we wondering why every year we get first tickets to see the Super Bowl instead of being part of the Super Bowl. We get all of the crazy headlines about the Super Bowl instead of being in the Super Bowl. Because you got an owner that's refusing to just understand the way and the process of this thing going, right? Paid everybody, mama, uncle, cousin, and love this drama for your mama. Love it. Should these players get paid and these sorts of things? Everybody becoming expert analysis and analysts as it relates to money and cap. They can manage the salary cap, but can't manage their own cap in their own house. That's the craziest thing. And we supposed to support this team. Let's listen to from 105.3 The Fan. Carson Palmer, he got out there. Let's get to the meat of everything. Carson Palmer got out there. If you guys don't remember Carson Palmer, he played for the Bengals, I believe, as well, the Arizona Cardinals, as well as the Raiders. He played for those three franchises and those organizations there. And he's average at best quarterback, didn't really shock the world with his playing ability. But, he lasted for decent amount of time in the NFL. He had some weapons throughout his career. What he had, Chad Johnson, right? He had Hushmazada. I think he had those guys over there. And then who else he had with the Arizona Cardinals? Larry Fitz. Huh? Did he have Larry? Huh? And then he went over to the Raiders land, and it was a whole nother mess of a can of worms with that type of situation. But neither here nor there. Let me see if I can pull up Carson Palmer's. Let me see give me a few seconds here. Let me see. Here we go, right here. That's Carson that's pointing the finger. Not Carson Wentz, but Carson Palmer. Pay Dak, that's what a lot of people are saying. Played good until he got his knees blown out. This is from Billy. Yeah. Let's see what else we have. Jerry Jones like a lawyer. Why in the hell are you going to win when he is getting paid the same amount of money when he lose? Just saying. Alex T, yeah. So he's a bookie, basically. Jerry Jones get paid regardless whether or not he win or lose. He getting that money regardless. He getting that money regardless of the situation. Yes, and we're at the mercy seat of the Joneses. We are at the mercy seat of all of these things. My audio went out of my ear, but I can still roll with it. I can still hear myself, though. But it is what it is. Let's listen to 105.3 The Fan. Shout out to them. Always great comments and always great interview sessions so that we can do this. So shout out to them.
They're far too similar. It does not make sense to me to give up what they gave up to get really a very similar quarterback. I put it in the same frame as what Dallas did. They fired Jason Garrett and hired Mike McCarthy. In my opinion, it's a lateral move. You hired an older, older by the book offensive minded head coach for another older offensive minded head coach in Mike McCarthy.
That was Carson Palmer's thoughts on Jason Garrett versus Mike McCarthy. Do anybody disagree with Carson on that one? He's saying that the similar hire movements, both of the guys are similar as it relates on how they articulate themselves and how they handle themselves and how they're pretty much prehistoric a little bit. Not a lot of mixes and X's and O's, just a coach that's heavily on the offensive side of the ball and not going to throw you a lot of wrinkles. The best thing that I can say with Mike McCarthy, we don't see him clapping on the sidelines, right? But we barely see him move on the sidelines last season. So let's see what this season will bring forth. But let me know, is it more of a linear move with Mike McCarthy, Jason Garrett? Is that much of the same? Shout out to my dog, Jay Form, one of the mods. Man, I really appreciate you for jumping in.
Very similar personalities. Nothing, that's super drastic and going to change up things from your team standpoint. So, I look at the Garrett for McCarthy move the same way I look at the Stafford for Goff move. It just kind of seems like a very linear, lateral move that doesn't dynamically change your program or your system.
Carson Palmer making RJ giddy over here. I basically have two RJs on the show with all these opinions. Let's see if he loves Dak as much as Choppy as well. Do you think Dak Prescott is elite or near elite? Are you a huge fan of Dak?
I love Dak's game. I think he's great. I think he shouldn't shoot for the moon. Being the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, there's a lot that comes with that financially.
Before he go into more details of it, he don't know. He's from the outside looking in. Last I checked, the football field's still the same. The aficionado still calls the plays the same. And on top of that, before he go into details about the endorsement side of the coin, at the end of the day, those endorsement deals are not guaranteed. Just like that. What was the kid? He was on the high horse. He played for the Panthers. Cam Newton. He had the Dannon's yogurt deal, right? Said the wrong thing in the press conference. Just like that, they dropped him. They dropped that brother quicker. Man, I ain't going to say it. But they dropped him. I ain't going to say it. I'm going to keep it PG-13. But they dropped that brother. So what I'm trying to say, and I don't want people to make it racial. I don't want people to bring up race as a factor for this particular topic. We just going to call a spade, though, when you're talking about endorsement deals. Every single NFL player is a Ryan Shazier play away. Ryan Shazier, we love him. Shout out to him. But, of course, he played for the Steelers. But that brother is not guaranteed to play ever again, right? Right? Let me know where I'm lying. Every single player in the National Football League is not guaranteed. So what I'm trying to say here collectively, on one end, you see where a guy get laid out, right? Can never play football, probably can never walk up a flight of stairs easily. And on the other end, one guy, he just made a joke to a female reporter, and they say, okay, we're going to pull your yogurt. We're going to give it to someone else. So you mean to tell me you're going to hang your hat on that endorsement? You're going to hang your hat on getting endorsement deals to supplement your salary? Your remunerations, your checkbook, it don't work that way.
So you don't have to be the top paid quarterback in the league. You can make as much as the top paid quarterback in the league when you're the Dallas Cowboys quarterback if you do take less. Because if you win in Dallas, I mean, you just look at today's television networks. You got Troy Aikman, yesterday's or last year's NFL networks. You got Troy Aikman, Jason Witten, and Tony Romo all on national televised games.
Before he go into more details, what do all three of those guys got in common? And on top of that, I got to put this out here, Cowboy Nation. We got to say this. Those are those guys loving, I guess, adulations and wanting to be where they wanted to be at, to be those type of guys, to get out there and speak. That may not be Dak Prescott passion. You can't tell me that, okay, this should be your passion when you finish your career, right? Dak Prescott might want to be a philanthropist, might want to do other things. He may not be inspired to be a play-by-play analyst. He may not be inspired to call plays on a Sunday, if I can say it in those terms. And we all know that this thing is all a hustle, but let's be real about it. Just because what they did post-career doesn't mean that everybody got to follow suit. And just because they did that, I don't recall those boys taking discounts, right? Let me know if I'm lying. I didn't see Jason Witten sitting there saying, okay, I will play for free. Matter of fact, just give me the crumbs from the master table. Oh, Tony, you do the same so we can have this juggernaut of a defense. Troy, hey, Troy, by the way, we love you. But can you take these discounts? Because you got the best offensive line in the National Football League. By the way, you got a Hall of Fame running back named Emmitt Smith and a Hall of Fame wide receiver named Michael, the playmaker Irvin. Let's take these discounts. I don't see that being said and echoed throughout the airways for everybody else. But all of a sudden, it's a major topic for Rain Dakota Prescott. Hey, let's take these discounts. Oh, they don't hit the quarterback in Dallas. They just do the two-hand touch. You get favorable calls. Last I checked, they trying to take your head off just like anything else. Let me know if I'm lying. But so many people will say, hey, you can take the discount. I'm still waiting on Ezekiel Elliott's discount. D-Law's discount. Look, it won't be long. Watch. Mark my word, it won't be long for everybody to start turning on Michael Gallup. Saying, oh, man, he just the third wide receiver. We got CeeDee Lamb now. Michael Gallup should take a discount. Michael Gallup, he don't deserve that money. Now we're going to start pinching it into his pockets. Right? Let's play this interview.
Partially because of their playing careers, but a majority of that is because they play for the Dallas Cowboys. They're a household name. You've seen Dak on tons of commercials and endorsements. You can make that same top tier money if you're Dak and you take a little bit less, and you can keep, you can keep Zeke Elliott and you can keep all the players around you because those guys can get re-signed within the salary cap structure. And you can make that money off the field that you're missing on the field by doing endorsements with Sleep Number and Nike and Campbell's Chunky Soup and all the other ones that you see Dak doing.
So let's listen back to what he said, because that really I'm sorry, kids, but that really pisses me off, though. Because now it's all of a sudden saying you can go out there and make that. Ain't that extra work? Don't you know how long it takes to shoot a commercial? Don't you know how long it takes to learn lines? So you want this guy to be a TV host instead of being a quarterback guy, right? That right there really gets me mad about the whole situation. Look what he says. Let me see if I can hit the thing.
And you can make that money off and get re-signed within the salary cap structure. And you can make that money off the field that you're missing on the field by doing endorsements with Sleep Number and Nike and Campbell's Chunky Soup and all the other ones that you see Dak doing.
So, with that being said, for those who work your 9 to 5, and I know it's kind of hard for me to compare that, but it's kind of like you working an 8-hour shift and somebody come to you and say, hey, you can make a little bit more if you stay a little extra and do this commercial shoot. And you stay a little extra and do this commercial shoot. Can you drive all the way downtown for this shoot to learn this strip so that you can make a little bit more money? And when you say, hey, I just want to stock the shelves, man. Yeah, that extra money is cool, but I'm trying to become a supervisor. I'm trying to become the manager here. But nah, man, you work for this prestigious organization. You can make a little bit of money working overtime, and you can make matter of fact, you can make what Carson Wentz is making, Jared Goff is making, but you just got to do a little bit of extra. You just got to go work and make this commercial break. But you said, well, hold on, my stats, my win columns and everything is better than theirs, boss. But no, the boss said, no. By working for my organization, you can make a little bit more money by shooting this photo shoot. And it'll be equivalent to what those guys are making on the field. So while they get home, lay down with their wives, sit on the couch, eating their oodles and noodles, you out there bussing, learning strips, learning new locations, flying here, flying there, and all you saying is, hell, all I want to do is be a quarterback. But I can't eat my oodles and noodles and sit on the couch. I got to grind. I got to grind to make mine.
That money off the field that you're missing on the field by doing endorsements with Sleep Number and Nike and Campbell's Chunky Soup and all the other ones that you see Dak doing.
That sounds like jealousy to me, though. Real talk. It sounds like Carson is mad that he didn't have those opportunities. Hey, somebody should have told Carson when he was out there on the free agent market, why didn't he call Jerry Wayne Jones and say, hey, I'll work for peanuts Just give me that Nike commercial. Give me that Pepsi commercial. Oh, by the way, can I get that Sleep Number commercial? I will work for free. Jerry, hit me up. He didn't do that. Let me know when it was the opportunity for him to go play for any team when he was on the free agent market. Did he call up Jerry and say, hey, are teams literally calling up Jerry saying, hey, Jerry, Wayne, I will play in Dallas. Just line up the endorsement deals. I heard that they sweeter and better than those NFL checks. Nobody says that. Nobody. Shout out to my dog Antoine for making the donation to help elevate the nation. Let's see what you got here. Really appreciate you, though. Read some more of your comments over here. Yeah. Drake, there we go. Appreciate you. Harvey, appreciate you. Thank you for jumping in. AI kind of late. Here she go.
Too late to change the playing field of paying people. It's been next man up for all position if you're good. It's next man up no matter how we feel.
My point exactly. Oh, my point exactly. Next man up. You gotta look, and here's my honest truth of it all. I don't care whether or not the Joneses pay Dak Prescott or not. My thing is, let's stop dragging this thing all the way out. If you believe in Dak Prescott, you pay the man. You worry about everything else later. Right? And if you don't believe him, try to learn how to figure out how to wheel and deal. It's a shrewd business, but you got to figure out how to be that tough with it. You got to, and say, okay, no deal on the table. You're not accepting my $35 million, or you're not accepting my $32 million. Adios. I'm going to figure out how to move on from you and bring in another headache, basically. Right? Why drag this thing all the way out? Look at Dak Prescott and be like, hey, all right, cool. We're going to put this tender on you. We're going to see if we can get multiple draft picks, and we're going to keep it moving. We're going to bring in somebody else. Don't be selling the water, because now you got people like the young phenom, the CeeDee Lamb, saying, hey, coach, can I get a few seconds with Jerry? Hey, Jerry. Appreciate you, coach. Hey, Jerry, is there by chance that you guys can work this deal out with Dak Prescott? I see the passion and the desires in his heart, in his eyes. Can you work that deal out quickly? Huh? Come on now. Let's be real with it. Let's be real with it. And the NFL loved a lot of kick it with you
in the
guys.
Salary cap structure, and you can make that money off the field that you're missing on the field by doing endorsements with Sleep Number and Nike and Campbell's Chunky Soup and all the other ones that you see Dak doing.
Oh, he even knew the sponsorship. Yeah. Very impressive. Ian Rappaport.
See?
Ian Rappaport just tweeted 12 minutes ago. The Eagles are getting trade calls centered around Carson Wentz, and while Philly doesn't plan to deal him, they have not hung up the phone either. Carson, how would you and your brother fix Carson Wentz, and what is wrong?
Well, it's not just what's wrong with Carson Wentz. It's what's wrong with, they had a quarter of their salary cap in wide receivers that weren't suiting up. I mean, you got $10 million going to Deshaun Jackson and another.
Hey, they'll figure out all types of reasons why it's not Carson Wentz's fault, right? He ain't talking about. I ain't gonna go into details. Oh, it's the wide receiver's fault. It's everybody's fault. I can only imagine if the roles were reversed. They'd be saying, "Oh man, it's the quarterback's fault." Man, I can't make this stuff up, Cowboy Nation. I really can't. All right. So with that being said, the NFL love to play sympathy and give you guys false hopes and things like that and say, hey, we don't have no money. It's no money. Law Nation is no money to sign these guys. And then when you look up the revenue report, they made all types of money. If you think I'm lying, Cowboy Nation, think I'm lying, do this. Go to YouTube. Well, take a NFL highlight video, for example. You rip that highlight video and you post it on your YouTube page. You will get a notification so quick, claimed by the NFL. Oh, we're going to keep the ads on, by the way. There are thousands and thousands and thousands. of YouTube highlights out there of players with thousands and thousands of views. They making hands over fists. Don't get it twisted. The NFL worry about money. They can just make money off of online streaming. Not just only talking about a piece of the revenue that they can make. I know some YouTubers. Oh, who's this Beast, Mr. Beast? The kid made $90 million doing YouTube videos, right? Look up NFL.com. Look up NFL page. Check out how much millions of dollars they making off of YouTube. That's just one avenue. And I ain't even talking about Facebook. Those boys making money. Come on, let's be real with it. People will not see it. People will never understand it. Look at it. This is a report right here. We pull this up. The NFL earns the lion's share in its TV deals, right? According to the Chicago Tribune, more than 50% of the league, $15 billion. Can y'all see that? Is that $15 billion? Let me put a marker right there. $15 billion. Annual revenue comes from TV deals. League made estimate of $15.26 billion. That's in 2019. Oh, shame on the NFL for losing out on a few billions. Last year, they made $14.48 billion. That's just off the TV split. We ain't even talking about jerseys, merchandise. We ain't talking about the parking lot, right? We ain't talking about other deals as it relates to the NFL YouTube page, Facebook page. We just talking about the TV deals, right? Come on. And people would think that these owners out here scrapping for cash, can't pay this, can't pay that, or afraid of losing out on the NFL because of this thing called salary cap. We cannot afford to pay certain people. They got this wedge so thick on everybody that you literally have people that's probably making $30,000 a year, $20,000 a year, arguing, saying that this player is not worth the money, the coins, the remunerations. And these owners are annually making over $15 billion. And people are arguing over this. Billions and billions and billions of dollars that the NFL is making. And this is actual data that you guys can look up and research for yourself. It's crazy. These companies out here making billions of dollars. Have you tried to pay for a ticket and think you're gonna get a discount even during the preseason? Newsflash as well. They added an extra game. Y'all think that the NFL is gonna lose money because of this pandemic? They figuring out other ways. When this new TV deal, look. Amazon is so dope. You can order from Amazon. It'll say he'll be there by tomorrow. And then within the next 30 minutes, you'll hear a knock at your door. You'll say, man, what is that? You walk up to your door, you open your door. The item is already there. You say, hey, wait a minute. I thought it was going to be here tomorrow. It's already at your doorstep. That's Amazon. Now they finna get into this thing called NFL. Don't you think that salary, that money, that remuneration is about to go up? About to go up extremely. Who is Carson Palmer? This is from Drummond. Plus, if Dak got 40, it's going to be pocket change contract in a couple of years. The cap keep rising. Yeah, this is from David. I mean, he's speaking the truth right here. David is speaking nothing but the absolute truth. Yeah. So it is what it is. It is what it is at this point. Gambling revenue streaming. Oh, my goodness. Tony, I didn't even think about putting the gambling revenue. They opened up that thing. Oh, it's going to be a crazy booger bear. And people are so worried about, hey, why is he arguing over 4 or over 5? His agent knew that, hey, they finna ink the contract for it to be an extra game. So you trying to lowball You trying to lowball my client. You trying to lowball my client. Look, let me tell you how egregious the lowball is. And I don't have the beautiful graphic display in front of you guys, but this is how it is. The offer, because people look at the 35 million and say, oh man, it's 35 million. But what was the guarantee? The guarantee was less than what Carson and Jared got, right? Both of those guys are in turmoil with their teams, and Jared Goff, he's no longer on his team. Lower, the guaranteed money was lower. So you mean to tell me you're going to offer me a lower guaranteed money? Forget the annual, the unguaranteed stuff, right? I can write out you a check to say, hey, it's $500 million check. Doesn't mean that when you go to the bank that you are able to cash it. But neither here nor there. The situation was the guaranteed money was lower than Carson Wentz, Jared Goff. But you're going to have more games. And you have more games. Plus, instead of 4 years, you have 5. Oh, let's add this into it. Those brothers were playing off of their rookies contract. I want you guys to do a quick Google. Look up their rookies contract numbers. Comparable to Dak Prescott rookies contract number, right? And I heard people say, well, Law, that is what he supposed to get. He was a 4th round draft pick, so therefore he's supposed to get paid that 4th round salary. Well, in any profession that you do, in any job that you do, if you perform above par, right, above your contemporaries, you get paid such. It's crazy. The same breath, in the same breath, Ezekiel Elliott, he was on his rookie's contract. And before his rookie's contract expired, he declared he wanted more money, more and more money, more and more resources, more and more opportunities to get paid. And he won. He got paid. And I'm not trying to count the brother's money, but I'm just looking at the concept. This brother got paid twice before Dak Prescott got paid once. Just before last year, Michael Gallup was making more money than Dak Prescott. Just before last year. But Law, that franchise tag was wonderful, right? Cowboys paying for that franchise tag. That's money that goes off the cap just like that. There's no stretching. There's no prorations. Money just gone. Gone. You can't get it back. That's a whole nother year. But everybody would look at this situation and say, well, the Dallas Cowboys, they did the right thing by franchising him because he got injured in these sorts. So you mean to tell me you Dak Prescott, you roll out there and you say, okay, sign me under the franchise tag again. Let me prove him wrong again. It don't work that way. It don't work that way, Cowboy Nation. Dak has outplayed his rookie contract. Yes, Ross, yeah. And trust me, on both ends, to be objective of it, like I said earlier, I don't care whether or not Dak Prescott is here or not. I don't. I really don't. But my thing is, I think that the team will have a better opportunity if he's here. And I would like for them to go ahead and sign him opposed to stretching this thing all the way out. Lying to everybody. Saying, oh, that yellow stuff that's just falling out of the sky down on your back, that ain't nothing but rain. That's what they're saying. Now, you can't get to heaven being lukewarm. Either you're hot or you're cold. So my thing is, either the Cowboys are hot for Dak Prescott or they not. That's just the reality of it. You will find ways to move mountains. If a lady said, hey, I would love to, I would love to get married one day, and you will find a way to make that smile on her face, you will find ways to move mountains to make sure you give her what she wants. If she goes into the jewelry store and say, hey, I really like that one right there, And if it's only a difference of you working an extra 2 hours or 3 hours, you would say, well, baby, I got you. Shoot, what the Joneses said, shit, you better be looking elsewhere. I ain't finna give you that ring. This bubblegum ring is just fine for 1 year. This cubic zirconium is just fine for 1 year. I still don't like her like that. She can't fix a mean potato salad right now. That's what the Joneses collectively did. Not saying that that's what the situation with Dak Prescott is all about, but you guys get what I'm saying. That's real talk. Hey, that's right, Mark. I see you. You see what I'm saying? That's real talk. But when you love something, you will find ways. You will find a way. You wouldn't even utter. And especially when you know it's reachable. You say, hey, I love you, Jalen Smith. Oh, man, Lyle, we love you. But, man, I got this hot date over here that I got to really satisfy. Because I know for sure that I can't get this thing rolling without it. Y'all going to have to sit back on the back burner. And I don't think that nobody in this chat room right now will be mad and upset that Lyle Collins didn't get his corns and Jalen Smith didn't get his bag. Matter of fact, I know a third of you guys will be like, yeah, dog. Cowboys did a good thing with Jalen. $40 million for 2 years and $20 million guaranteed him. I feel you. Trade for Watson and have no draft capital to fix your defense. Come on. This is from KD. He's regulating somebody in the chat. Did you hear what they wanted for Watson? They want 2 first rounds, 2 second rounds. And that's for less, far as from a statistical aspect of it, lesser production from what you got from your quarterback now. That don't make sense. And I understand where people are coming from, because the quarterback that you got, sometimes when you're not winning, is less desirable. Hey, that's just how it goes. Mr. Prime 39773 says 8-8. We can go back and forth on that. Dak would never live up to unreasonable standards. This is from Jackie. Shout out to my lady, Miss Jackie Smith. Always appreciate you for hitting me up early in the morning with great content. Always. Cowboys, some of you silly fans have, but you only hold there over there with Dak with no one else. Yeah. This is from Miss Jackie. My thing is with this. And she got some strong points that if it's not a Super Bowl every year, in the playoff every year, winning multiple playoffs, then nobody's happy and satisfied. So they only look at it's a straw man argument, basically. They only look at the quarterback. Last year they only look at the quarterback. And it doesn't matter how much facts you pull out there and say, okay, Brad Johnson, okay, Trent Dilfer, Joe Flacco, Eli Manning. We can go on and on, Nick Foles. We can go on and on about quarterbacks with less talent than Dak Prescott to ultimately win the Super Bowl, right? And then we can go on and on about, okay, well, he's supposed to take the discount. He's supposed to take that. And, Cowboys had 4 years to fix that defense. If they didn't do it then, what you guys expect that they're going to all of a sudden do it now, right? It's crazy. They had 4 years riding under that good contract. Matter of fact, they had 4 years with even Ezekiel Elliott riding under that good contract. They didn't do it then. So all of a sudden, magically, his defense is going to be fixed, right? I can't make this stuff up. Let me see if I can do this right quick. Let me see if I can do this. Let me do this right quick. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find this right quick. Give me 1 second. Y'all jam out to this right quick.
Nowadays, nothing really insightful. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's she freeze. Photo, please, no photos. G's, no, please, no photos. Hit the door and the doorman just whole team here, might need some. Still young, but I move like a new deal to my lawyer. If you're down in my management, I'm just warming up a way till I old producers saw the numbers one. Different colors in my baggy light. Chalk it up, talk of the town where you're talking up. Wanna get you a ring and you tough enough. Wanna get you new things with your pockets dull. Run it up. I used to be quiet and out of luck. Now I move up and move humble cause the hate and the jealousy. My mama telling me count up your blessings and run it up. Nowadays nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's I got wifey on bling and she freeze. Photo, please, no photos. G's, no, please, no photos. I keep giving game away. I put game on layaway. I got paid to play today. I get paid to stay away. I get paid on rainy days. I might make it rain today. I got paid off pain today. Thought it'd take the pain away. In my own lane, finger roll. I would never sell my only soul. Heard your whole team was for sale. Heard it's on the market for the low. Who the realest, we might never know. All this acting, you gon' play a role. Give you the world when they sign you up. Try you out and then they line you up. Ooh, now you're looking hungry, ribs are touching, need some food. Now you're all on live acting surprised, but you was fooled. Boy, get out the way, it's been a day, now you're old news. Now you got the pen and pad, you're trying to take my moves. Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody.
All right. So, with that being said, I want you guys to guess this year. I posted this video, and guess the year for me when you guys hear this video. And it's some of the same sentiments. This is before all of this stuff happened with the 20. I'm going to give it away if I say that. But let's just listen to what these guys have to say.
And this team starts a great experiment this season. Usually experiments of this particular
Oh, before I go into details, this is 1310 the ticket.
Kind.
For somebody who's been following the Cowboys for a long time in this area, you can post the name of the person that's speaking too.
End in failure. I will say usually, because every once in a while, and literally it is that, every once in a while, a significantly imbalanced football team still manages to win because one side of the ball is so good that the other side of the ball is covered for most weeks. What you want to have is a Cowboy team like the early 90s. But these days, in the era of the salary cap, et cetera, you just don't get a team like the early 90s Cowboys anymore, who were wonderful on offense and wonderful on defense and deep. That's just such a rarity in our time right now. But the imbalance of the Cowboys is an offensive team that with health ought to be very, very good. Romo, like we always do, cross your fingers as well at quarterback. The kid Ezekiel Elliott's going to be a fine NFL runner. And with Bryant back, cross your fingers, passing game ought to be solid. All that is predicated on the fact that this is one of the very best offensive lines in the league. So the plan is for the offense to carry this team. Can they do that? Can the offense possess the ball a significant amount of every game, every Sunday, to cover for, my opinion, a lousy defense?
What changed, baby? What changed? What changed? Let me know what changed, and I'm going to let him say some more and more information about this. But you guys can't believe this, man, if I can tell you guys when this video was posted. But let's listen to more.
The idea is simply don't give the ball to the opposition enough times to expose your defense. Now, let's take a figure for a moment. Let's take the figure of 33 minutes. That is a significant amount of possession in a football game. If you have it 33 and the other team has it 27, that is likely to lead the National Football League or be very close to leading the league in time of possession statistics. Now, obviously, you got to do something with the ball when you have it. You've got to generate points because the other team still, even with that massive amount of time of possession edge, the other team still is going to have your defense to work on for 27 minutes. And what defense do you have? A defense with a dreadful pass rush. A defense that's paper thin at linebacker. A secondary that's okay, but is constantly put under duress because the defensive line is not pressuring and sacking the opposing quarterback.
What changed, Cowboy Nation? What changed? Let me know what changed. This has seemed like a time warp way back, and this was the year 2016, right before the season even started. They was even, look, at the point the draft was just about to hit, and they still didn't know what was going to be about this team. But the way that Norm is talking about this particular team is the exact same team we see as it relates to today. The exact same team.
The Cowboys, in an attempt to get a little deeper and a little better at linebacker, are again talking to Justin Durant.
What's different?
Justin Durant had 2 solid seasons here, 13 and 14. Now, he was hurt the back half of 2014.
I should have prefaced my statement when I say this, but this is their philosophy as well on the free agency. Let's go out there and grab an old commodity. Let's go grab somebody that's long in the tooth, that's coming off of injuries. And this been their issue. This been their situation.
He went to Atlanta, and he got hurt in Atlanta last year and missed some games. He is now 30 years old and injured the last 2 seasons. Do you worry about that? Well, for heaven's sakes, yes. How many games has Justin Durant played in the last 2 years of the 32 possible? 16. It almost sounds like a Sean Lee stat from the early to mid-career of Sean Lee. But we must remember something. Justin Durant was considered a good enough player and good enough fellow to be a captain on this team in 2014. We don't remember things like that very readily. Those disappear from our mind. But there really is a significance to a player being named a captain. It's much like Jimmy Johnson used to love to draft those type players. Players who are conceded to be amongst the leaders on a team and thus named a captain. What Justin Durant will do is he will play hard. He will show up. He will give you a solid effort. Justin Durant would be fine to play middle linebacker here. Cross your fingers that he doesn't get hurt. Meanwhile, the only reason they're talking to Justin Durant is Rolando McClain's 10-game suspension.
We can go on and on and on about that, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? Nothing changed. So it's the exact same thing over and over again. The philosophy as it relates to the free agency moves, the philosophy as it relates to this defense. He said, hey, edge rushers are pretty good, but the interior, they couldn't stop a nosebleed, basically. The DBs, they okay, but they out there under duress because they on the field all the time. My thing is, heading into the 2021 draft, we got Trayvon Diggs, right? And we have a Donovan Wilson. What the Cowboys normally do in this time frame, everything is hedged on and predicated upon whether or not they pay Dak Prescott or let him walk or get multiple draft picks for Dak Prescott. And we will find out by what? Is it February the 23rd when they open up the ability to sign franchise tag? And I think you got into the deadline of March the 9th. We'll know everything about this team. But if they sign on February the 23rd and moving up to the opening of the new year, as far as the NFL, if they sign a fly to this roster before they pay Dak Prescott, we in hell of a troubles. We are in crazy troubles. Because we're going to be revisiting this same scenario over and over and over again. So my thing is, in closing, as the good old Uncle Charles would say, the Cowboys need to figure this thing out. They do. Because if not, we'll be going back and forth with the same entire situation over and over again every year. So, with that being said, Cowboy Nation, let me know in the comment box, what would you do? Would you pay Dak Prescott, move that money to the side, focus all of your attention on this defense and everything else, or will you continue to wheel and deal and finagle this thing out, stretch this thing out, and say, well, we can't afford, we can't do this, we can't do that. Go out there, franchise tag this man, and one more time. And then start to pull guys on this team and say, okay, we want Tyron Crawford back. We want a Justin Durant type of player, somebody who's 31, 32 years of age, right? Right? We're going to put some makeshift pieces out there. We're not going to worry about the interior defensive line. We got one of the better defensive edge guys in the league, right? D-Law and Randy Gregory. They haven't been coached up by Quinn yet. We can roll out Antoine Woods and Justin Hamilton. They're going to be our enforcers in the middle. And Navell Gallimore and Tristan Hill are going to be the stoppers. They're going to be the plug because the coach is going to get them right. We're not looking to do anything with Jalen Smith nor LVE because we think that those guys can make things happen, right? That's just the philosophy that the Cowboys normally do. We can't afford a Justin Simmons, right? We can't afford the Anthony Harris kid or whoever, who was Marcus Maines out there. We can't Mays, I'm meant to say. We can't afford those guys. Nah. We're going to get Cleophas McDonald or somebody like that. Whoever is out there that we never heard of. But he was good at D1 school. He did this and did that, whatever school he went to. On a collegiate level, he had 15 interceptions, but he had a torn rotator knee, but we got the best healing agents over here, and we're going to grab those guys. And I'm not trying to be pessimistic with that, but that's just how the Cowboys do. And then you guys will see my video. Thank you for tuning in to the Law Nation Film Session as we take a deeper look at Cleophas, His 15 interceptions in college was fantastic. Oh, my goodness. All right, Cowboy Nation. Let's continue to grind and shine. My thing is pay Dak Prescott, get this thing over with, peel back the scalp, pour alcohol on it if you can, but it will heal the wound, right? Let's go. Team full of Jags, I see. I see you. I feel you on that. Appreciate everybody who made the donation. Thank those who supported this page. Thank those who shared this content. Thank those who also watched through the entire video. I really appreciate you all. Let's continue to go and grind. Let's go.